Two. Let's look bigger picture here, Greg.
But Flowers hasn't won a Super Bowl, right? Because he was on the team this year.
He was y'all gonna kill Marquise.
He was hopeful. He was very hopeful.
Y'all gonna kill Marquise Flowers.
No, I'm just saying.
He came very close.
Dude, get off of Twitter when you don't even have a Super Bowl. What are you
He's a millennial. That's what they do.
He spent all day on there. All right, Flowers. Okay, Greg, here we go. Let's look bigger picture. The Eagles and Patriots are early Super Bowl favorites for next year. So which team has a better chance to win it all, Philly or New England? I know this is a little premature, but let's look big picture.
Very premature. But when you look at the landscape of the NFL, the league, the Patriots have the better chance of returning to the Super Bowl. And, Rob, I know you probably don't agree with that. Because
no, I don't agree.
Even if you did.
Exactly. You would go the opposite side. But here's why. When you look at the Patriots' path to get there, they're in a division that they have dominated. They played the Bills twice. They played the Dolphins twice. They played the Jets twice.
That's the AFC least.
That's the
hey, that's what they're.
I like that. The AFC least. The reason why the Patriots have been so successful is because they beat up on their guys in the division, and then their path from the end of December and all of January, they're at home for the playoffs, and you have to travel to Foxborough, and it's a tough task asking a young team or a talented team. It doesn't matter. Not too many teams are able to be successful going to Foxborough and dethroning the champs. When you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, do they have shots at dethroning them? Yes. But have they done it? No. And so until we can see a Baltimore Ravens team like with Ray Lewis and those guys take it to them in Foxborough, they have the easier path. When you look across the conference, the NFC, it's a lot more parity. When you look at the New Orleans Saints, could have easily beat the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings could have beat the Eagles. The Eagles have in their division a Dallas Cowboy team that probably will be a lot better this year.
Haven't won a championship.
I get all of that. I get all that. I mean, the Eagles just won their first one. Come on now. Let's not get too carried away. And then you have not only that, the Giants, they only need a few pieces, and then they're back. But the road to getting there is a lot more challenging and difficult for the Eagles. Not saying that they don't have the talent, because they definitely have the talent to do it, but there are a lot more formidable teams in the NFC that will challenge them. The Carolina Panthers. These aren't teams that are going away. The Atlanta Falcons. Teams are improving in the NFC. And when you look at their paths to getting there, their road is a lot more challenging and rocky than when you look across the conference in the AFC and look at what the New England Patriots have to go through to get to the AFC Championship game and then to the Super Bowl.
I hear you 100%. It all makes sense, but here's the difference. First of all, because I would pick the Eagles over the Patriots.
You would pick the Eagles over the Patriots just off of merit alone.
Anybody.
I'm going from this standpoint. You're still rocking with a which will be a 41-year-old quarterback. I'm just telling you.
You were saying a year ago that he was terrible in the first 3 quarters of the Super Bowl. He's done.
When did that ever come into to matter this year? His age.
In the Super Bowl, he couldn't hold on to the ball. That was
Rosie.
That was age, man. That was age, man. He couldn't hold on to the ball when he got hit.
Wow.
But also, they're an older team. The Patriots, I think, are the second oldest team as far as the NFL. And also, the other thing is, their defense, everybody was so shocked at what happened, but their defense was 24th last year. They gave up 42 points in game 1 and 41 in the Super Bowl. It reared its ugly head. That team defensively was still there and still an issue. When you talk about the Eagles, this is what makes them impressive to me. There's not many football teams that can lose their starting quarterback who was en route to winning an MVP, right? When Carson Wentz got hurt. You lose your left tackle, your middle linebacker. Usually when that happens, you're done. They had the 4th best defense in the league, and we saw what they were able to do as far as offensively, scoring points, trick plays, everything that they do. Don't get me wrong. You're right. The path in the NFC is tougher. There's no doubt about it. More teams, better quarterbacks, no doubt. But the Eagles are definitely going to be somebody to be reckoned with because now you get to go back to that quarterback who was having that MVP season. You know what I mean? Like, and those other guys who were missing get to come back and be a part of it. So it's almost like you're adding to a team that just won a Super Bowl with 3 good players who weren't around to help you win it.
Rob, I hear you, but the path
I get
is
the
everything.
path.
They are a great team, and they're constructed very well. I mean, we saw what they were able to overcome. All the adversities, all the injuries, we saw all of that. But when we talk, the question is, who has the better chance of getting back?
I'm not rocking with the 41-year-old quarterback who can't hold on
who
to the
just
ball
threw for 500 yards in the Super Bowl. Look, the question was, which team would you bet on winning another Super Bowl quickest, right?
Right. Next.
I've got to
getting back to the Super Bowl.
Getting back or winning it?
Getting back.
I'm thinking winning it, but getting back, whatever. I say New England. In fact, I'm saying they're going to win it next year.
There you are.
Because they're going to come back. They're going to come back upset that they didn't close the deal this year, just like they were upset about Deflategate and get it done. And you talked about all the players the Eagles lost. Well, didn't Tom Brady lose Julian Edelman? Last year, didn't they lose Rob Gronkowski and won the Super Bowl? Teams do not repeat as Super Bowl champions anymore in the age of free agency. Most teams. Guess who does occasionally? The last team to repeat as a Super Bowl champion. Who?
I don't know.
New England Patriots. The last team to win 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. The New England Patriots. The last team to win 3 in 4 years. New England. They are a team that you cannot count out until Tom Brady is when they won 3 out of 4. My point is, every year you can count on the New England Patriots of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady being there.
Chris, they went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. And
everybody else went decades without winning Super Bowls.
And the last 2 Super Bowls could easily have been lost.
And this one could have been a win. I mean, we can argue, we can, fans or butts, we can argue that all we want. They could have won this year. I'm saying, look, Philadelphia, to your point, the NFC, that's going to be tough. Carson Wentz, how healthy is he going to be? You know, it's not easy for a quarterback to come off an ACL, not to mention his playing style makes him susceptible. He was great. He was going to be the MVP. But he's susceptible maybe to another injury. Maybe he's going to be conscious of changing his style a little bit, and that could throw him off a little bit. What if they lose a few games? Does there become a quarterback controversy, at least with the fans, if not the organization? So there are a lot of things that I think will keep them from winning it.
The NFC alone, it's going to be difficult. We haven't had a returning Super Bowl contender out of the NFC since I don't even know when. Like, to get there 2 years in a row. Like, it's that hard in that conference. When you talk about injuries. Green Bay Packers didn't have an Aaron Rodgers. So you got Aaron Rodgers coming back. You got in your own division, you got Odell. The Giants were riddled with injury after injury after injury. And so you have all these players.
But they still have Eli Manning.
They still have who won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, past tense. Those days
but no. You can't just throw out what someone has done. He's still an affordable quarterback.
Have you seen his
last
formidable
7
quarterback? Years, the last of his numbers
I have. I totally have. I have, but he can still get it done because of the talent that he has outside on the perimeter. My point is, the NFC is so difficult to maneuver and to get through, to get back even to the NFC Championship game, let alone get to the Super Bowl and win it all. The Patriots' path, I get it. I'm an Eagles fan. I chose them to win this Super Bowl. But we're not talking about the talent on teams and the age of the teams. They're constructed very well. But when you have a Robert Kraft and a Bill Belichick, specifically Bill Belichick, who has run an organization and has put the personnel in place year after year after year, you're telling me that other teams has a better opportunity to now get there and win it all?
Yep. Let me tell you, Rome fell New England fell in this past Super Bowl. Things change at some point, and Bill Belichick isn't that emperor anymore that
Really?
he was.
Really?
That's his specialty, is defense. Bill Belichick defense gave up 41 points to a backup quarterback and lost the Super Bowl, and I'm supposed to sit here and go, oh, yeah, Bill Belichick and the Patriots are going to be back next year with a 41-year-old quarterback who can't hold on to the ball late in games anymore. I'm looking at this. They are not the same team. I know it's easy to pick them because nobody wants to respect the Jacksonville Jaguars, who led 20-10
That's not
going
true.
into the fourth quarter. People don't want to respect those teams.
It's looking at the Patriots' track record.
Exactly. Until you
can't make
dethrone
the
them,
case against
you can't go against them.
I love how you're so quick to discount everything. You're so hard to please.
Didn't you ever hear of the discount double check?
Exactly. Who was that?
That's your man.
Oh my God.
And he back.
That's for next segment. Or never. I don't know. I don't care if we ever get back to that. We'll make or make